CNU?
It's not coming. What is your product name?
CNU, once you use a CNU.
Is it?
This one.
SC_CNU, not SW.
Yes. I further that option. Yeah.
Now here you need to create your namespace and go ahead with the working of.
Yes.
Good job. So, any doubts on the file component, file communication channel needs testing what we have done?
No, Kumar.
Nothing, right? Good. So, could you able to understand what is going ahead and how it is been going on? How's the linking between all the things are going on?
Yes, Kumar.
Good. Right.
Yes, Kumar, one doubt.
Yes, please.
In SSMB morning, we will able to see the messages.
Right.
In that one, for one message, there will always be scheduled status only.
Which message?
I am talking about my company.
Oh, your company was okay. What how it has been there in scheduled status?
Scheduled status only. But when you go inside the QRFC something tool, in the tool there one option is there. QRFC monitor something. There I am able to see the error message.
Say, in Moni, are you seeing in checked flag?
Yeah, scheduled status.
Or checked status? Then it is passed through. If it is green flag, it implies that scheduled.
But inside that one, that is the error message.
Okay, someone might have restarted it. After that, after the error message, is there any checked flag also?
Checked flag means?
On Friday we had created the scenario, right? Friday night or Friday morning?
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Saturday is 5th. 6th. 5th.
4th. Yeah.
See here. This is known to be checked flag.
Yeah, for this one there is scheduled status.
If it is checked status, it is passed through. If this is red flag like this, then it is an error.
But that is always in green color.
Green color.
Yeah, that means scheduled status.
Is it in green or is it in checked?
In my scenario, that is green color only.
In web system you are seeing it, or in PI system you are seeing it?
On PA that is successful.
Okay, that's what the main issue what I am having, right? So you are executing, if I am not wrong, you are executing a proxy and expecting a response from it also, and the response is in green flag.
Yes.
Is my understanding correct?
Yes.
you are running a synchronous proxy scenario where you execute a report, you will get your ALV with all the information and a green flag status, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that is your standard codes in your ALV report itself. It will be present. Just look into your ABAP program only. Okay, from PI perspective, it is exactly, excuse. From PI perspective, it had flow. It is successful and already given to your ABAP system. Okay, in your ABAP system, if it is a check coming to your ABAP system standards, whether you want a checked flag or green flag, it is about all about your own coding what you had written in the report. Okay, just
Okay,
check
Kumar.
after the proxy call. After the proxy call, after getting the information from the proxy call, what this function it is calling you, what the form form you are calling up. In that form, if I am not wrong, you are using some ALVs. In the ALV, you will be giving all the data and a check and a green flag there. If you are getting this green flag in ABAP system, it is meant that it is very successful. The message transfer is successful, and the data is also stored on the tables perfectly itself. If I am not wrong, that is a successful scenario only. Not have any this one errors.
Okay, Kumar.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Any more things?
No, Kumar.
Nothing. Good. So today, what we can do is go through the mappings, types of mappings, and all the things. Or you want to show me how the monitoring works out? Already we are in SXMB Moni.
Show me the monitoring.
You want monitoring tasks. Good. Okay. Let's go ahead with monitoring then now. Okay. Okay. You already see in SXMB Moni, right? This is what for monitoring tasks we are having. See, ABAP stack monitoring, Java stack monitoring. These two types of stack monitorings are very much important while the messages are passing through the PI system, which implies that in monitoring, in what is this exactly monitoring means? Monitoring implies how the message is being flowing through, whether it is been reached, whether it reached the system, or it is still in some error status, or it's still in scheduled status. What actually the system is doing with the message right now. That status we will be checking out using this monitoring tools, which is provided by PI. This is one of the major what I had I think in demo classes we had already seen that this is one of the big advantages of the PI system, where it is having a large number of database and could able to store each and every message which is flowing in and out of the system. That's a very wonderful job we have to see, and where we can track every message. We can track every message, which implies that we will be having a reliability on the message flow. Okay, because if business is sending some hundreds of some thousands or lakhs of messages to the receiver system, and if he is not having any reliability on how many are going to the receiver, or anyone are failing at some in between end, if he could not able to exactly point out where this message is going on, there is no reliability on his flow, and he could not able to keep the similar flow throughout, because he is not having any fixed count on how many he is receiving, and how many messages are been getting delivered, and how many messages are being stuck, right? If he could not able to know what exactly happening in between, he could not he every time those will be in error status and could not able to reach the receiver system. Understood? So in order to pertain that situation, PI had got some monitoring tools. With this monitoring tools, PI could able to check whether the message entered into the system, whether the message is in error status in PI system, whether the message successfully reached the receiver system. We get able to tell these three types of situations. Okay. Firstly, whether it had received by the center system or not. Secondly, whether it is in error status or some status, whether it reached the PI system and it is in some error status or scheduled status or something. Third thing is whether it had been received by the receiver system. Okay, these three types we could able to discuss. We could able to investigate using the PI monitoring tools, and we will be seeing them accordingly. Okay. In monitoring, we are having two types: Java stack and ABAP stack. Okay. Let's go today to completely of ABAP stack. Tomorrow we can see what is Java stack. Okay. ABAP stack implies this particular on the ABAP screen, we are logging into the system and doing many things, right? This is known to be the ABAP stack of PI, where this SLD, E, design, configuration, RWP, these are all called the Java stack of PI. Okay. In ABAP stack of PI, you need to firstly remember the transaction SXMB_money. Okay, first one is SXMB_money. In SXMB money, what you can find the options. Let us see. Whenever you enter into your money system, you can see these all things: integration, monitoring, and some few tasks under monitoring. Okay, here what it is showing mainly is monitor for processed XML messages. This first task implies it is showing all the messages as per your selection criteria present in the database of PI. Okay. Next, processing statistics. It is this already we had seen. Now what actually it is giving us. Let me complete all these things, and then we can go in internally what exactly all these things are showing up for us. See, processing statistics. What it had shown to us. XML messages with errors. How many error messages are there? Correctly processed messages are there? XML message day. How the config, how this scenario is going, how all the scenarios are working out, and what is the exact processing status. It is shown here. Okay, this is under the second one. Third one, archive XML messages. What happens is as there will be lakhs of messages, a huge amount or volume of messages that have flown through the PI system, what we will be doing here is for every 1 week, for every 7 days, something like that, in the real business scenarios, what we will do is we will be archiving the messages which are more than 7 days. Successful. For a successful message, we will be keeping the successful message for 7 days only. Okay, we will be after 7 days. What we will be doing is we will be archiving the message, where it will be taken out from the database and kept in some other database called archive database. Okay, that is again a different concept. Let's not go much deeper into the archive concept. Just understand the transaction where we can retrieve the messages which are in archived status. Okay. I think you can understand what it is doing, right? Compiling a program which is already an existing program, a web program, and then it is displaying a result for us. Actually, this is how the archiving tool will work out. Here, what will be, I think nothing has been archived yet. I think no archive jobs also running up on this. Okay.
Which is done by the ABAPS or PI?
This will be done by basis admin team, basis team, or PI application expert will be doing this job. Like firstly, he will code the job. Means what happens is we are already having some scheduled jobs for this. What we will do is we will manually schedule the job to run in this particular period, and we will be scheduling it through some regular intervals, so that the job, if by itself it runs up and executes all the messages and converts all these transfer of messages. Okay, that's what it does. We will be seeing not now. I think archive concept is somewhat very critical one. But anyways, I will let you know some important steps how the archiving is being done, and how we could able to maintain the persistence of the system. We can discuss it, not a much here. Okay. What happens is, like in this screen, under some date, all the messages will be up, and as per the date you can go there and check whether the message existing or not. I think no archived jobs are there, so nothing being existed in this. Similarly, I think here also you will not get anything. Here we will be using the message ID. What is this message ID again? Every message is having its unique message ID. Implies message ID is the primary key of the database, where every message is having its own message ID. Okay. Every message is being identified by the PA system using this. Okay. So if you give here message ID and process, if you know the message ID of that particular interface, you can directly give the message ID and retrieve the data, which is already archived also. Okay. Here you can see job overview. No jobs are running. Job overview gives you what are all the jobs running on the system. Like what I had already said, deletion job, etc. It will check what are all the jobs running on the system, and it will display whether all are being all are maintained successfully and all are running successfully or not. We can see here with the job overview transaction. Next is persistence layer analysis. Persistence layer analysis implies that see here how much maximum number of table entries are possible. Some 2 lakh, okay, 200 million. 200 million entries are possible, and up to now we had used only 2 million. So the current filling level is only 1. Okay, we should see that this need to be below 100. This should not be above 100. Current filling level should be somewhat less, not more. Okay. Next is status monitor for async and async communication. This is particularly for synchronous communications, where we can monitor what type of message hold is being going on. It does not much differ with SX, the first transaction where we had seen where we can see all the processed messages. There will be no much such difference, but again this could be somewhat important while you require some more important information. Once if we process some synchronous scenario there, then we will be seeing it in this one, whether how it is showing up the monitoring task, and then we can discuss on this. Okay, let me go to the first one. Any doubts on these things, Srinivas? If these are clear, we can go ahead.
Kumar?
Yes, please.
In archived XML message test using ID.
Yes.
In this one, pipeline ID is there.
Right. I will show you this. Okay. It is showing what type of in the pipeline steps at what pipeline step it is actually stuck. We will see the pipeline steps of PI. At that time, you can see what is this ID implies. Pipeline steps are nothing like that. This one only. What I had already said, like receiver determination to interface determination to receiver agreement, right? This is what we had seen the prior pipeline step. The flow of the message. Similarly, PI is having some particular flow or some 6 pipeline steps will be executed by PI. We will see how this is also being done. See, for example, you can see the screen, right? In the screen, see this standards. In this view, always we will go for standard view only. Length of the output, if you want more than 200 records, you can give here more than 200 records. In the status group, you can see scheduled, processed successfully, errors, system errors, application errors, and all. Okay, as per the group you require, you can select them, and here end of what is the start time and the end time of the execution you require. And here you will be giving up which party interfaces, sender interfaces and receiver interfaces, everything here. If you see this keenly, this screen shows you something like a selection screen. Is it not? This is a selection screen where you can select everything, and this is maintained under a different block as data tab. Here this is a sender tab, this is a receiver tab. See, the screen has been divided into some tabs, and then some other advanced selection has been given in the other tab. See here, this is completely a selection screen in aware, nothing more than a selection screen, right? Okay. If I say execute,
Someone there status one.
This one.
Yeah.
I will show you. See, if you execute there, it is showing you some ALV report. This is ALV, right? This is going to be the ALV. where you can see all the things under a neat clear table. Under a clear table, we got able to display everything. This is not with the ALVs. In this ALV, we are maintaining all these things. How these how these messages are being passed, and all these things will be maintained here. This is what you had asked just now. Status. Status implies whether it is successful, scheduled, automatic restart, and some many types are there. In those many types, you can see what type of status really this particular system is having up. But mostly go with status group only, where you get able to identify the problem perfectly. Okay. If I go inside, see here, I'm having some, I got able to find some 24 messages here. It is giving all the things. How many messages are there for me? And 1 minute, man. Right. This is giving us how many messages are there, how many messages are there in the particular interval for us, and what are the status of the messages, what is the execution start time and execution end time, sender interface details here, and then receiver interface details here. And here you can see the message ID, where each message is having its own unique ID, what I had said before. And this is your pipeline, where exactly which pipeline it is present now. Next, I think I did not see the screen anywhere yet. Always this is empty itself, bulk message. Anyways, leave that for that now. Next is that is not much important. Next is this one, inbound, and next is outbound, where you can exactly see how this message communication is also present in these both engines. Where if you see the first two messages, it is giving us as IDOC. See, it is coming from an ECC system to a receiver agreement here for us. Okay, from an ECC system, it is coming to a receiver agreement, which implies that it is coming from an IDOC. The inbound message or the coming message from the sender is an IDOC interface, and it is executing through the adapter engine itself. So it is giving that A engine. A engine implies adapter engine. Okay. Mainly what the differences we will be having in this inbound is an IDOC one and adapter engine, and next is some RFC also we will be having up. Mainly it is mentioned whether we should know whether an IDOC communication is present or not. Because what happens is IDOC, proxy, and RFC. These three are the things where we will be communicating with the R3 system. So we could not again find in the Java stack. These while you are sending something to an R3 system through these three, we could not find these messages in the Java stack of PI, because it will be running internally itself through the SLD itself to the receiver systems. Because why we require an adapter engine is it needs to convert the XML format to the receiver understandable format. That's the main basic use of an adapter engine. But here we are directly passing as an IDOC or an RFC or as a proxy with the complete structure, what the input, what the receiver requires. And also it is an R3 system where you will be having a direct communication without the interference of any Java stack. So it will not go to up to the Java stack. Just in internally in this particular system, internally in the ABAP stack itself, it will exchange the messages. Okay, this is what mainly the inbound and outbound interfaces or engines mainly gives us the information about. Next comes the type of the message. What is this? Outbound states. See, if the message is not successful, and this outbound status will be useful mainly when you are using some integration process or business BPMs. When you are using BPMs, you can find it out. The outbound status here will be checked one, which implies that the BPM also got executed very finely. Okay, that we will be seeing up while we are executing a BPM, and then we can come here and see whether it has been checked or not. Okay. Next, the types of communication. What type of communication is it? Is it synchronous, asynchronous, something like that? That's type of communication you can see here. This is QID. What happens is whenever a message flows into PI system, some queue system or queue manager will be there where it assigns a queue to this message like a container. What I can say is it is a container where the message is stored in that container and it is been transferred to the receiver interface. Similarly, what we are having is in PI, we are having some queue system, not only in PI, in ABAP also. If you can see in SMQ2 transaction in ABAP or SMQ2 or SMQ1 transaction in ABAP also, you can find many messages in this type of format, queue format. XBT01-002, XBT00-001. In this type of format you can see in ABAP system also. This is called queuing queuing concept, where all the messages, inbound and outbound messages will be queued, and as per some techniques, these queues will be maintained and the message transfer will be done. Okay. See in ABAP system also you can find what are these queues and how are these queues are executing. We will be discussing up when we are going to SMQ2 monitoring. The next transaction will be SMQ2 monitoring. Then we will see what is this. Okay. Next one is client ID. The client ID implies what the center system client are. Not the center system client, mainly what the client ID of the PI system is. What happens is, if you can remember in the file communication channel, see here in the file communication channel under adapter engine, this field we had given integration engine. Other than integration engine, at present we are not having other engines here because only integration server is there and no central adapter engine is present. If central adapter engine is also present, we can able to change here to that particular engine, so that here you will find the change, where the client ID of the system will be changed then, and the engine type also will be changed then. Okay, until then the engine types or client IDs will not be changed, and every system will be having the same one. Oh my goodness, I am having an outbound status successful one. Okay, anyways, firstly let me go through all these things. Next one is job ID. Job ID implies that whether this message is running through any job. If this message came into the PI system by running any job, then we can able to identify that message through the job ID also of that particular job. We can identify that. Okay. Here, if you see something on message IDs, the scenario, this one is present. See this one, original message ID of the acknowledgement message. If it requires some acknowledgement, what is the message ID of the acknowledgement? Request message of the acknowledgement message implies with there will be two requests, right? One is a request and then it is a response. For both the individually the message IDs are being maintained under here. Under this parent one, these two will be maintained up. Okay. Next one comes under version. Version will be like current status only always, whether it has been archived or not, it will be showing up in the versions. So you know. Next, coming to queue status. At present, as all the queues have been nullified, means that all the messages have been passed out without any errors and all the things, and no queues are stuck. Queue status will be empty for you always. Sorry man, I don't know about reorganization status. I will check this. Next, we can see job status. Job status implies whether if it is executed through a job, what's the status, or what's the status of the job, whether it is successfully implemented or partially implemented, and all these things we can see in this job status. Next, if this particular message is an error, this one, we can see the error category, error ID, all these things under here. See, this is giving many more information for you. At the end, see here the message size of this message size is also displayed. This is in bytes. This will be in bytes. I mean, implies that this is 14k bytes, 14,928 bytes. Okay. See, it is giving so much of information for you for every message. From its the complete history of the message you can see, or you can view only on the screen. On the screen itself you can see the message and able to identify that whether the message has been passed up or still stuck up, or what it is, what the status is, and all the things you can see by just seeing this particular table. And if you want to change anything, it means I do not require, if I'm having all asynchronous scenarios only and nothing are running through job ID something, I want to take away all these things. I do not want these four things to be displayed. Okay, then what I can do is see here, this particular field is showing set filter. You know already about filters, right? Sorry, set filter. Yes, please.
I don't know that filters.
Filters. Okay, I will show you. Right. See, what filter implies is filter is nothing but like you can select what elements you require when you want to view this SXMB money through this filter. If you're having some knowledge on Unix, in Unix commands we will be writing some filters. Have you seen any time this command? Have you seen this command on Unix screen?
I don't know Unix command.
No, you don't know Unix. Okay. Filters are nothing but clearing up of the message or show encapsulation of the message, where if I require only some fields in this particular table, means when I open SXMB Money, I want only some fields. I want what is XML message status, what is sender, and what is receiver. That's all. Nothing more I require. Then what I can do is I want only XML message status. What is sender party schema? What is receiver party service? Sorry, not schema. I want sender service. I want receiver service. Only 3 fields I require. Okay. Now you see. One minute, man. It is creating some stuff here. I need to check.
Filter means just like a selection criteria.
Yeah, like selection criteria, that's all. Nothing much.
Now I am
Like
able to
what?
see the all tabs, that is gender service, gender namespace.
Right, right, right. You can see
I
all
get
the
it.
things.
Yeah.
I want to select only these things, and I want to give about all the other things. Then I can go to column set like this and set all the things required here and execute. Why this is not showing as per my information? If I set the filter, I had set the filter, right? Why if I set the filter also it is showing like this? I think I have to save this also. Then only I can see this.
Just leave it, Sumar. I understand what you are saying.
Sure. Anyways, that's how the filters work out, where you can able to view only some fields here and you can leave the other fields. Okay, that's what this filter implies for you. And here you are having some export button where you can export this particular complete sheet through an Excel spreadsheet, word processing, something. As per this download, you can download the complete sheet and able to give to the user. If the business user wants the list of messages what are being failed today, then for today you will give the time interval as today and take out all the output and you will export this into a spreadsheet and you will be forwarding that spreadsheet to the business user. This is how we will be working out. Okay, this is the outlook of the complete Mori. Let me go inside to one message. What actually it is showing up for me in the message. See, if you see here, it is showing an XML message with a message ID here, and it is a window 1 and this is window 2 for me. Okay, in this XML message I can see here 3 groups: inbound message, receiver grouping, request message mapping. Okay, I think before going to this step we can discuss pipeline. Okay, tomorrow we can discuss pipeline also. Nothing, today I will show you how the structure has been going on. Then we can see the pipeline steps and all this stuff. See here, inbound is a checked flag for you. See, when the message is coming into the system, it is falling under an inbound message tab, and then the flag will be checked scheduled status. Implies that it is still executing. It needs to get executed. Okay. See here, as every message in the PI is under SOAP protocol. So simple object AP means something SOAP protocol. Okay, this is known to be a SOAP protocol. Okay, every message will be with this particular SOAP itself, where we are having a SOAP header here, then SOAP body and SOAP payload. The payload implies what the structure, what the input structure is for you. See here, if you can remember, we had taken one tag and sent the message. See here, this is what our input message is, and we had missed here slash. We did not give the end tag of employee number. For that sake itself, it could not able to track out exactly how the message is and fall into a error status. Okay. By simply viewing on the payload here itself, we can say that there is an error in the input message. See, if you could able to check this one, a successful message. In the successful message under inbound and payloads, see how neatly you got the structure, how the structure has been, input structure is given. You could able to see how the input structure has been divided neatly and processed through the system. Okay. Here you should get some more information also on receiver interface determination. Another tabs need to be like interface determination and then call adapter. I think those tabs are not present here. I will check why those tabs are not present. This is also something like filters. You can filter it up as per your own requirement. I want only these three required. I want only these three should be displayed. So these three are displayed. If any error is there, then that particular error step need to be displayed. Then if you can see here, you can see request message mapping error has been displayed after receiving grouping. Okay. I will show you some sequence of steps need to be here. That sequence of steps will be executed while you are processing the message. Then you will be more clear on why this request message mapping step came in between. What happens is, if a message is successful, he is displaying only three steps. He is displaying only three steps: inbound, receiver, and schedule. Processed successfully some checked flag directly. Before the checked flag, we are having some other internal steps like request message mapping, next technical routing. See some steps like this which will be technical routing. Next is request message mapping. Next will be call adapter, and then the response. So he had missed these steps, I think, if I am not wrong. See, I had told you the pipeline steps also here. This is what the pipeline steps also. Firstly, the message comes in, then it will see the receiver, what is exactly the receiver, then it will route according to the technical routing, how that particular receiver need to be identified, and all these things will be taking ahead there. And also it will route to which interface determination this message need to be executed. Then as per the message interface mapping, the request message mapping takes place, and the mapping conversions takes place. And then this call adapter, what it does is it will sense to the receiver system. It needs to check whether the receiver system is completely having writes or not, and some other stuff will be the conversion of the message, and all the stuff will be under call adapter. And then finally response, whether this particular message had received by the receiver system or not. These all fields will be up here on this screen itself. You can see for every message all these things, where under all these things you can find this soap header, soap body, payload. See, like this: soap header, soap body, soap payload. For every step we will be having this soap protocol, and we can find we can trace out at each and every step how the payload is there and how the payload is changing for us, how the trace of the message is there for us. For example, see, inbound payload is like this for me. This is an error message, right? Let me show you with some successful message. See, at inbound status, my message is the input payload. At receiver grouping, what my payload is. It is still the input one. When before this response, you will be having this call adapter one. Why this is not there? Okay, anyways, I will not go much depth why it is not there. By tomorrow, I will keep that step also here. I will try to get that step also here and display for you. Here the call adapter will be there in that payload, in that SOAP structure. In the SOAP payload, you can find the output of this mapping also, where we had concatenated this first name and last name into one field and given directly an employee number, right? Only two fields will be there. That particular output also we can view under this, not this response. Response will sometimes have this SOAP payload. Mostly it does not have. Under this call adapter itself, it will be having up. We will be seeing tomorrow why it is not present and how we can get that. Okay. For example, see here on the SOAP message, we are having the payload, and what it is still the input payload itself. Okay, once this request message mapping is done and transferred to the next one, then the next one is nothing but call adapter. See, after this, excuse. After request message mapping, it is call adapter. So in call adapter field, in this call adapter folder, you can find why the message, how the outbound message is there. If you can once check in your production systems, you can find this. Go to SXMB Moni there and see one input, how this input is there, how the message is present there. As per that, you can find all these things. Okay. Any doubts up to here, Srinivas? Is it clear out for you?
Yes, Umar.
It's clear, right? Can we wind up today, brothers?
Yeah.
It's already 7:05. Okay. We'll
Yes,
wind up here like this. It is clear for you, right? How the message referred for us and how we are rechecking it. Okay.
Yes, Umar. Yeah.
See here, while you want to analyze the error, mainly I did not come to the main point. You need to analyze the error, why the error is there and all the things. If you double click there, in this second window, we are having the type of error, what this, why exactly this is an error status is under this one. See, Java null pointer exception. If you are somewhat good at Java or something like that, you can immediately say that the input message is missing some field. Java null pointer exception will be coming up when some fields are missing in the input. Okay, but of course this particular debugging technique will be coming up for you once you are solving some messages which are already coming into this error status, investigating on them, analyzing what type of error it is, and all these things we will be doing. Once a message, if you see in error status, you need to go inside the message and see what the error it is, and on the error type, on this error type, we need to analyze why this error had been occurred. Why this error had occurred firstly. Why a null pointer exception came for us. Null pointer exception came because the inbound payload is wrong. The inbound payload is not in correct format that need to be need to be sent by a sender system. So as this message is in wrong format, the message mapping did not take place, and it had displayed an error for us as null pointer exception. This is what our understanding is, and we will report the same to the sender system, saying that for this particular message, your input message is wrong, and you need to resend this message. And this is the particular acknowledgement we will be doing up for all the error messages in SXMB Moni. What happens is, for an support in a support perspective, we need to be ensured that no messages will be under this error status for SXMB Moni. Okay, no message should be in error status. Then only you can see the system is very consistent and the system is processing very finely and able to deliver all the messages to the receiver system. Okay, you need to be ensured that if any error message, if you can see in this Moni, immediately you are identifying the error message, you are analyzing the error message and taking an immediate action of converting that error message into a successful one. Okay. Next, if you will find some scenarios where some communication errors will be. Here we are having some error in the mapping, so leave about this. some other messages will be where your receiver system is under reboot, and your PI is going to send some messages to receiver, but due to the unavailability of the receiver, these all messages failed in PI itself, giving some other reason under this one call adapter. Under this call adapter field, they will be failing up by saying that receiver is unauthorized or receiver is unavailable, something like that. Some error status will be for you, and it will be failing at this particular field. Then after some time, when your receiver is back again, when your receiver system is back again, you need to check on this and go to restart. The restart of this XML message, what it does is, it will again reschedule this message and able to process all the pipeline steps again. It will resume its step from the current pipeline step, not all. It will not execute from first again. It will resume its status to scheduled, and at current queue, at current stage, from the current stage onwards, it runs again and checks whether it is successful, and then we can check whether it is successful or not. We will try to down one system, or we will not execute. We will try with some error messages, and then you can able to understand how we can debug Moni. Okay, under an application support perspective, SXMB Moni is really one of the most important transaction where they need to check on a daily basis. Not daily also, mostly we have to say at least 3 hours, at regular intervals of 3 hours, they need to check what are all the error messages that are present in that particular interval, and they need to report to the business users, this is what I had found in error status, and this is what our analysis is, and this is what the resolution step is, and as per the resolution step, if the sender system need to be changed, you need to change the sender system. If the mapping need to be changed, you need to mention in the resolution the mapping change need to be occurred, and this is the mapping change. This is the mapping change we should give up, and all these things we will be mailing up to him. Okay, I think you got able to get my point. We need to make that particular message a successful one. That's all. That's our ultimate goal after this complete monitoring of Moni. Any questions,
Yes,
Srinivas? Is it clear?
No, Kumar. Yeah, clear.
Very good. Very fine. So, okay then. Anyways, we will wind up for today, and we can meet tomorrow then. Okay? 6 to 7.
Yes, Kumar. Yeah, bye.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks.
The organizer